Welcome back, you guys, to another one of my movie reviews, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing Aquaman, aka Water-Thor. Now obviously we were introduced to Aquaman in previous DC movies with Batman vs Superman and Justice League, and here he is finally getting his own movie. Now I joked by calling this Water-Thor, and I did this for a reason, because when you watch the trailers for this movie, you just can't help but compare it to Thor with just the whole way that Aquaman looks, the whole different world that they build with Atlantis and all that stuff, like with Asgard. All of those elements make it look like Thor, just with water in it. And that's not such a bad thing, because Thor had a great template and they ended up using it well to make a solid character in a good series. Well, for the most part, a decent series. But I can say that with this movie, when you compare it to something like Thor 1, it absolutely blows Thor 1 out the water with everything that it does. And I do mean everything. Now for me, when I first saw those images of Jason Momoa's Aquaman with those Batman vs Superman pictures, I was initially just kind of like, really? This is the Aquaman you're going to put out there? But when you watch the movie with how he was in Justice League even, and this movie, he really just plays this version of Aquaman just really well, man. He's just a lot of fun to watch. He is absolutely just great in this movie. He's such a fun character to enjoy, just to watch him do his thing, his one-liners. He's just really good throughout the movie. And Momoa is already a star, but I think this role is going to propel him to superstardom, just like how Thor propelled Chris Hemsworth to superstardom. And his co-lead in the movie, Mira, played by Amber Heard, she is just great. The whole time I was watching this movie, I was just like, Johnny Depp, what were you thinking? Because this girl is just absolutely gorgeous in this movie, and she does a really good job. She keeps up with Momoa, they play off each other well, and they made for two good leads in this movie, and I had a lot of fun watching those two. And those two are great, but what you also get with this movie is a story with a whole lot of heart and just a really effective story in general. I really love the scenes with Arthur's parents. Arthur's dad was someone who ran a lighthouse, and his mom is the queen of Atlantis. And the scenes that they have showing how they came together and just sort of their love, their forbidden romance and all that stuff. That stuff had a whole lot of heart, was really effective. The whole story with Arthur and his mother, how he wasn't able to meet her, how she sort of disappeared, that stuff was great. You get a story that just covers all sorts of angles. You get a story that covers Arthur's origin story, the romance angle with his parents, his romance with Mira, some really effective family drama. And even for portions of the movie, you get a really good sort of action and adventure thing going with the whole quest to find some stuff, Indiana Jones style. That stuff was fun to watch throughout the movie. And it really kept you from getting bored, just because there was always a different element going throughout the movie. The element that I was kind of split on, and I think a lot of people are going to be split on, was Black Mantis. Now, I absolutely love the fact that you got like a black villain who's playing a prominent role in a superhero film, besides from something like Electro in Amazing Spider-Man 2. We've never gotten like a black villain that really just took like center stage. And the guy who plays him, I don't know who he is, but he had good screen presence, and I thought he did a really solid job. The problem is that his story, he's more like this sort of weird sort of side story villain that isn't really sort of part of the main conflict. And when it comes down to it, even though he has a good motivation for why he does not like Aquaman, and because of that, there's not a ton of development for him throughout the movie, even though his scenes are pretty good. But like I said, the way he's sort of put in the movie, it's almost sort of like a weird sort of side story that I think is seems sort of like a sort of thrown in element, and that the payoff for this character will come in later, even though I did enjoy him throughout the movie. And all of this comes together for a great climax with a lot of great action, and it's all set some great visuals, and it's all set up with a great character scene where Arthur shows why he is the king of Atlantis and why he's the right one character-wise for the job. And I should have mentioned this in the beginning beforehand, that the visuals in this movie are just fantastic. You've never seen visuals like this in a superhero film, besides maybe Thor, that just took you to this whole nother world. I mean, as a technical feat, this movie is absolutely incredible, because it really is tough to pull off a story, a character like Aquaman, where so much of his story takes place underwater, but all of it looks convincing. There was not any shots to me where I was just like, oh, that just looks terrible. They really put a good amount of money into this, and it shows because all of the visuals just look great, and I was just wowed by them. When you go into the underwater city of Atlantis and all of these beautiful visuals, it just works so damn well. And they really did the city of Atlantis and all the visuals justice in this movie. For me, I absolutely loved this movie. I came out really surprised by how good it was. I mean, I thought the trailers for this looked good, but this movie sort of like really sort of unexpectedly blew my expectations out the door, and I just came out just loving this movie. So amazingly, I gotta give this a 9 out of 10. This was definitely one of the better movies I've seen this year, and I've seen the reviews that have come out for it on Rotten Tomatoes right now. I think it's at a 63%. That's not a terrible score, but it's definitely not great. And I really just don't get it, man. I just thought this was a really effective movie. I have no emotional attachment to Aquaman comics at all. I just go in wanting to see a good superhero film. I wanted to see a good DC movie. And for me, I definitely got it with this movie. To me, this is definitely the best DCEU film so far. And I know that's saying a lot because they got Wonder Woman also. But for me, this was a lot more enjoyable than Wonder Woman was, which Wonder Woman was a good movie, but I thought this one was just, all the elements just came together to make just a movie I really enjoyed. And when I came out of it, I'm like, I really want to see Aquaman 2. I want to see more of this world, more of this character, because they just did a great job with this movie and bringing the Aquaman legend to the big screen. Aquaman, you definitely ain't no joke no more. You can't look at that Family Guy and say, that's your version of Aquaman, the Aquaman you seen Family Guy. This Aquaman is a hero that I really want to see more of. And I definitely want to see more of Mira, because she was just finest girl I've seen all year in a movie. She was that. And with this movie, we're really ending the year on a high note, because it was getting kind of rough there for a while, because we were getting movies like The Predator, The Venom, The Grinch, Fantastic Beasts. Then sprinkled in there, you got like your Jurassic World Fallen Kingdoms and Solo, blah. But within the last few weeks, we've gotten Ralph Breaks the Internet, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Bumblebee was really good, saw Mary Poppins, that was really good, and Aquaman was just one of the better movies I've seen this year. So thankfully, we are ending 2018 on a high note, because like I've mentioned before, really loved Aquaman. So that's it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed this review, and I will see you all around with another video.